Hi all, Jin here. Did you miss my sultry voice? It's been a long stretch of me saving my ingots since Penella, but I'm going to be blowing them all this month, so hopefully I have enough time to do all the analysis vids for all of the purples I plan to do, which include Beatrix, Selfie, Leo, and Fran. Lord have mercy on my ingots. But let's cover them one at a time. We're starting the month by purpling Vayne, the free turn shenanigan master. He was my second pity after Lena during his initial EX release, and he was actually even more painful than her because I didn't even get a copy of his 35. So I ended up having to weapon token that after spending 300 G tokens. And MLB Sign is not the greatest consolation prize I got either from that, so luckily I don't have to pull on this banner anymore because I did EX token Paladin Pecil from the very first EX tokens released. So quick thoughts on his banner mates EX+. He did get a rework as well, so I'd like to say he becomes a better version of Onion Knight, where he is a decent DPS with decent party auras, along with the Holy Imperil and Party Enchant, using his C65 for the enchant. But unlike OK, he can actually heal. I chose to leave him at 0-3, since that's where he already gets his unique buff, and he will be pretty good for Dimensions and Fodder at 0-3 already. You would need to 3-3 him for his true potential as a decent DPS though, and do keep in mind there are a decent amount of Holy Resist Absorb fights which he would be locked out of. And so that's the positive of OK with his Ice Imperil and Enchant, because there are less fights that resist Ice. But otherwise, Pecil, he's amazing, you can't go wrong with him. This month is pretty heavy for me, so that's why I can't spare him the ingots, but a usable 0-3 I also find very valuable, so even if you don't plan to 3-3 him, it's not a bad idea to use your EX tokens on him still, especially if you have Vayne already. And depends on who else you don't have in the EX token shop. For example, Lightning is coming up with a great banner, so you might not want to use EX tokens on her, for example. You can check out his full kit and details in the infographic provided by the Tonberry Troupe here. But okay, on to the main prize of the banner, Vayne, who, unlike Cecil, receives no rework. So if you're already familiar with his kit, it still stays exactly the same at base, but he does receive a level 70 and his EX+, of course. So a quick review of the important things of his base kit. His skill 1, Mach Wave, is a 3-hit HP attack that will grant him 2 stacks of the unique buff Conqueror's Power. His skill 2, Force of Will, is a 2 Brave HP plus 4 Brave HP attack, which cancels the break status of the target after first HP attack. This will also grant him 1 stack of Conqueror's Power as well, and the unique buff Consul's Ingenuity, which grants him attack and max brave plus 20% and party attack plus 25% and max brave for the party plus 50%. And also gives him his Brave Plus and HP Plus, which are Kick and Pummel, both of which grant 1 stack of Conqueror's Power also. His EX ability, Tree of Saphira, is a 4-hit AoE Brave plus split HP attack with 150% overflow. It does refresh both his skill uses and grants him 3 stacks of Conqueror's Power as well. At max 3 stacks, and for a 2-turn duration, which can be extended through the likes of Yuna and Eiko, etc., all of his abilities are changed into their plus versions. They do not consume turn count and are instant turn rate, so he can go pretty much 3 turns, one right after the other, 2 of them being free, that don't consume any turn count. And after the buff turns are up, you start from 0 stacks again. It is important to note that none of the plus versions grant him any stacks. His level 70 gives him a C65 ability, which will be a 2 Brave hit HP attack that grants him 15% attack for 3 turns. It extends all his buffs by 1, which pretty much means you don't get penalized for using it, so it can be used anytime without any penalty. His Bloom will give him 2 additional uses, so 3 total. That's just free damage, so make sure you get it. Also of note, his C68 gives the party an increase of 10% for attack and max brave, so definitely very useful C68. Okay, on to his EX+. At 0-3, his EX hits harder and brave hits go from 4 to 6 while granting him 20% extra overflow to all abilities. With his plus version abilities, he will gain brave based on 20% max brave at the end of each, so he won't have to start from 0 brave for each free turn. At 1-3, it gives him attack and max brave up 40%. At 2-3, it gives him 10 turns of his skill 2 buff and 1 stack of Conqueror's Power at start of each quest, which is pretty awesome. So he doesn't have to use his S2 to start off, and he starts off with his auras, and it's quicker to get his free abilities up and running. At 3-3, his EX hits even harder and gains 180% overflow, which is in essence 200% with the extra overflow from 0-3. And the big thing of note is that it will cancel break of all the enemies, so that's pretty amazing. And definitely you should 3-3 this man if you're going to use him. His sphere isn't anything to write home about. It's just brave damage increased by 10% when attacking a broken target. A sphere you would probably want to give to someone with a lot of brave hits, and I wouldn't give it to him. He only has 1 A slot, and you pretty much want as much attack as possible for his A slot, so like King's 20% attack when breaking, for example, is great on him. his E slot, you can give him a debuff sphere or vanilla sphere that dispels on break. He has unlimited breaks essentially because his EX re-breaks and his S2 gets refreshed and re-breaks too. So that's why I would recommend if you want Vanilla Sphere on someone between him and RNA, I would choose him. I don't have a 3-3 Vanilla at the moment, so I don't have any spheres on him. But what's amazing is he also has a D slot, which you can slot in any nice aura sphere to give him even more utility. Art recommendations, I would recommend 108 as priority, as any DPS would, and then C50 or 330 as a secondary. Although his C50 raises both his attack and max brave by 5%, 330 will give him even more brave gain after his plus abilities. You can't really go wrong with either though. My ideal setup is probably what I have here, a slight mix with 2 C50s and a 330. And I know my arts for him are pretty ridiculous looking, but these were received through the pain of farming Sarah Curse during his event. I got both Zac and Vayne perfect arts and not a single perfect for Sarah, and it was pretty frustrating because I had just pitied him with no copy of his 35 and then went on a soul crushing Sarah art farming rage after, but it's all good now. Alright, so after all that on his abilities, a simple summary on how to play Vayne. If you haven't at least 2-3'd him, you do need to start with his S2 first to get his aura and his other unique buff up. Otherwise, if you have at least 2-3'd him, and you should 3-3 him, you will have his starting buffs, so you can start with S1 first, which will get you up to 3 stacks. So on his next turn, he already has free turns ready to go. After that, you want to balance using his abilities to get back to 3 stacks again. Usually you want to include an S1 in each rotation to get him 2 stacks in one go, and all his other abilities grant him the remaining 1 stack needed. Almost under no circumstance would you want to use his plus version of his EX ability. Use his other abilities first during his free turns, then when it reverts back, then cast his regular EX ability to instantly gain back the 3 stacks so you can go again with free turns on his next turn. The only time you'd want to use the plus version of his EX is when you're pretty much at the home stretch of a fight and you can deal the finishing blows soon and you want to refresh an ability to use right away. The pros for Vayne and why he is such a monster are the same things that made him a monster before. He's really strong DPS with decent party auras. The free turns give him so many actions in a row while not taking up turn count, and his great longevity with the skill refreshes. He has the rebreak like Aranea, which is a form of delay, but he has it in bunches with his EX now being able to do AoE rebreak as well. His skill 2 can also break an enemy twice if they're not broken. You're able to break them with his first 2 brave hits. So while his numbers may not look that big, but with his free turns they add up to a lot of damage while keeping your turn count to a minimum. And these free turns can be extended by the likes of Yuna and Eiko, etc. by extending that buff. And he only requires 2 buff slots, and they're both unique buffs. So you can add on top of his buffs with generic buffs and auras, and he's also giving auras, so he can be a pretty stacked dude. His cons are pretty minimal. Mainly he's like Ultimisha with all the consecutive turns, so he'll go through buffs like an animal. So supports like Rosa who give auras are better for him. Unlike Ultimisha, however, having him use his free turns and summon is kind of wasteful because he doesn't deal that much damage per free turn. Although it's not that terrible since it can delay the enemy turns by even more, which is something I like to do with Ultimisha also. But I would probably advise keeping him at minimal stacks or just not having him in summon at all. All in all, he's not a required unit by any means, but I highly advise getting him and 3-3ing him. He was a powerhouse in Cosmos and becomes a powerhouse in Chaos again. Putting him with the likes of Aranea, he can make use of her short turn debuff by going with all his free consecutive turns, and they will make a deadly rebreak and delay combo. His free turns can also take advantage of other buffs and AAs that are just on the other party member and not on him. And he's not even a selfish DPS, he has decent auras, so yeah, get him if you want to add another amazing DPS utility character to your party. Okay, so on to his Chaos. I have in mind what I deem to be a pretty fun team, which I'm hoping to allow Vayne to shine and show how he can carry a team. We'll go with Pecil at 0-3. And for the extra fun, let's go down here and go with my failed attempt to get her EX Eiko. So she just has her 35, she does have all her boards in C70. And she will help buff them, and she will make use of Cecil's Holy Imperil, and she can extend Vayne's buff, so it's actually quite a lethal team combo if I had her EX, but I just have her 35 and Cecil is only 0-3, so let's see how well Vayne carries this. I'm gonna probably rely on some synergy boost, and let's go with Setzer. See how his arts are. Okay, it's not too bad. Alright, let's try it out, see how it goes. I'm just guessing this will work. Never tried it before, this team. So, start with S1 first, get 3 stacks. We can extend those stacks right away. Beautiful. Let's start with the S2 for Pecil. Get his HP plus up. And I already have free turns with Vayne. Let's just dump this. You can see he gains back a decent amount of Brave, 12k. Let's just HP plus again. And we can delay him now. And no more free stacks, but let's start up with 2 stacks again. And let's get Pecil's other buff up. So I'm gonna hold off on using Eiko's other ability until Vayne gets his free turns up. Yeah, let's use Force of Will. We'll break him twice and get our 3 stacks. Oh no, he's going before Eiko. It's okay. We will just HP plus. Pecil has a pretty good HP plus, especially when he's hitting weakness. We'll just HP plus. We'll get my EX up right after anyways. My EX after this. Now I'll get my 3 stacks and skill refresh, and I'll get a re-break. I think I'm gonna save his EX so I can imperil the next wave. Now I'm gonna extend his free turns. You see there's 3 now. He's just an HP plus machine. Probably should use S1 there. Kill him on that one. Oh well. You can see how like Eiko has 10 turns on her buff left and he only has 1. It's kind of insane. Let's get 2 stacks up. I pretty much just plan to use her skills to extend his buff, so she's just kind of a spectator. Three stacks. Nice miss. With Pecil, you can just kind of spam his HP plus too. You see that? Look at that, 54k with splash, and this is at 0.3. Obviously synergy, but his EX also extends his buff durations. So he can go on forever, even though his skill counts are pretty low. Now we're going to try to break him twice. Let's get my EX up, so let's use some skills. My EX will be up after this. Man, Pecil never really needs to use any skills. I might be playing a little conservative here, but we'll see how it goes. Look at this, could be re-break the A, which is beautiful. We'll save his skills and spam him on the last wave, I guess. And we can extend Vayne's returns. Look at that, beautiful. 3, and now I can delay him twice. What a machine. What a machine. This is kind of unfair. Now I can get 2 stacks up now. Look at Pecil. He's always just full of brave, never needing to use skills. And we'll just get our 3 stacks here. That is so unfair. I wonder if I should just save this. Nah, it's okay, I'll use it. And I'll spam some skills to get his EX up after. Back to our free skill ways. Look at that. Easy kills. And they're not even taking up turns. Get our 2 stacks up. And a kill. This guy is in for a world of hurt. I'm gonna get my 3 stacks up now. I'll save my EX for after. I want to delay him twice, that's why I use this skill there. And I'm going to give him his buffs again. Because he goes through them like an animal. And now he also has 3 free turns. Time to spam skills with Pecil. Free turns already. I'm gonna break him twice now. And I'll just recharge and get all my stacks again. With the re-break as well, and I'm gonna extend his buff again. Now we got the Imperil. And we got 3 free turns again. What a boss. I want to get his EX charged up, use some skills. Get 2 stacks up. I'm running a little bit low on this S2, so I'm just going to save them for recharging his buff. Save our skills. I want to extend his free turns like usual. I'm just going to get the last stack here. He's gonna come out of break. I don't like that, so let's enchant all of us. And then we'll let Vayne also hit for weakness. since the boy is already weak to holy. And we can extend his free turns again. Ooh. I actually don't remember what this horsey does, to be honest, so that was a surprise. I'm gonna double break him. We just got HP plus all the way. EX should be up afterwards. Horsey's pretty tanky though. Pretty tanky. Yep, EX, and then Eiko can refresh the free turns after, or extend them rather. I didn't want to use her S1 because she's running a little bit low on those, even though I have ability recovery. We can get EX after this, HP plus. Oh, this boy has a lot of health. But you can see Vayne taking advantage of all those holy enchant turns. Don't want to get broken. Oh, he cleanses. That's a big rip. It's a big rip indeed. My 3 stacks. And I'm going to extend them. Let's not get broken. Oh yeah, his Brave Plus battery is the party too, which is nice. Oh, the free turns. Oh, I need to refresh his other buff, so let's use his S2. Now we're gonna have his EX up, so I'm going to just use HP plus. And yeah. It just uses EX. It's gonna re-break him, launch Eiko up, and she can extend his buffs too. I do wish she had an EX so she's not running on fumes here. Ooh! Let's shave him down. That hurts. That hurts, man. Man, this is gonna be a long fight. Why you gotta be so tanky? Get that Imperial back on. That was worthless last time. I'm going to get him out of break. Well, this might not get him out of break though. It does. Nice. And we can double break him. And extend his buffs. Let's just brave attack. Man, that Imperial never lasts very long, does it? Luckily he's already weak to Holy. When you're low on skills, he just becomes an HP plus machine. Let's get 2 stacks up here. HP plus. Ouch. Ouch, dude. Ouch, man. I'm gonna save that, get my last stack here. And I'm gonna forego extending. No, let's just extend it. We'll go all out. Look at that damage she does, even with the weakness. So terrible. Let's get that launch, I guess. Oh nice, he can regain his brave even during the launch. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah, let's go ahead and summon now, huh? No wait, no. We want his free turns to go through and then I'll summon after. These conserving skills, man, this man can go forever. I can go again right after this with my free turns. Let's go ahead and refresh my other buff after this. Just HP plus here. Let's get the enchant on. And we're time to summon. Let's go. Refresh the buffs. Yeah. gonna... Yeah, I don't want him getting his stacks right away. And we're gonna switch her out. Start delaying this man. Yeah, 96,844 with just HP plus, isn't that nice? I can use HP plus here too. And delay him, and we'll freeze on the last turn. Sounds like a good plan to me. Freebies. Freebies galore. Two stacks up. Home stretch. Brave attack. He gets a lot of brave from his plus. That red card hitting weakness. Beautiful. EX will be up after this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delay him. And we'll freeze him here. Should be safe, no surprises. And I love that his EX will push him back too. I'm out of these, right? Nope, I can still use one. I'll use it later. And that's just Holy Flame. This is gonna do nothing. Sets her OP. And my last smite that extends his free turns as well. This is so beautiful. Just as I scripted. I actually end up with 2 main skills on him actually. That's the power of Vayne. Jesus, he can go on forever. Even when I think he's low on skills, he's not, because his EX just comes up and recharges them all. That is sexy. That's Vayne with a 0-3 Pecil and a 35 CP Eiko. Of course, 2 of them are synergy, but that is still impressive, I think. And I hope you can see his strengths, pretty much. The only issue I was having with him is how fast he was going through his buffs. Otherwise, he was crushing it. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll need to be doing these videos again for most of this month for all the people at Purple, so the next person up will be Beatrix. So hopefully you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.